Good evening, I'm student meteorologist Raquel Nakora.
And student meteorologist Jason Ducker.
And we've been seeing quite muggy weather today, low-level clouds just blocking the sun from reaching our area.
Today for November 20th, 2013, it's been more of a seasonal day, however, a little slightly more in the clouds, we can say.
Yes, and cool on top of that, but that's nothing compared to what we're seeing in the Midwest right now.
Yes, up in the northwest too, going in the Midwest, we have a new Pacific storm that came onto the coast, and a lot of snow is in store for the Rocky Mountains, extending into the Midwest plains.
Yes, the cold front that actually originated in the Arctic Circle is what's going to be bringing us our cooler temperatures this weekend. And it's already Idaho has 2 feet of snow from yesterday.
You're talking about a storm originating from the Arctic Circle. That was a very chilly storm, and with that, a lot of snow in store. Yesterday, though, 1 to 2 feet in the Cascade Mountains for Idaho and parts of Montana. A lot of snow, and then that pretty much is shifting down into Wyoming, Kansas, Colorado, those 4 corner states. Very chilly temperatures and a lot of rough weather, I could say, ahead of them.
There's a lot of winter weather advisories out for the Central Plains, including Colorado, Montana, and Idaho, in fact, and also winter weather warnings as well for southeastern Montana and parts of the Rockies.
Yes, for the lower Rockies, at least, they're expecting 1 to 3 inches of snow, and for the upper elevations, 3 to 6 inches, and isolated areas could even get up to 12 inches of snow. So certainly a very snowy day in the forecast for the Midwest and to the Northwest. We're going to go ahead and take out the overview with Zach. Zach, how are things looking around Tallahassee?
Well, Jason, it's looking pretty nice. Today we had a decent day outside, but let's take a look at your weather headlines and what's to come. Well, it was seasonable and cloudy today. Very nice, but we have some changes in our forecast with a new cold front this weekend and even colder air next week, probably the coldest we've seen all season. We'll talk about that later on in our show. Let's take it out to the national look, though. There's that new cold front starting to drape across the region. A lot of snow. Billings, Montana, saw quite a lot of snow and a drop in temperatures. They'll be talking about that later on. Just a little severe weather here around Kansas City starting to push out as well. As for locally, though, let's take a look at your temperatures. Mid-60s over Tallahassee, getting a little cooler to the north, but for tonight, well, there we go. For tonight, looking nice, 57 degrees and mostly cloudy skies. It's going to be a pleasant evening, but let's send it back to the desk with Jason and Raquel.
Thank you, Zach. We're going to go to our next story. Today, November 20th, 1998, 15 years ago, NASA's International Space Station, 15-year anniversary.
Yes, the Russians actually launched the largest space man-made structure in space, and now they're celebrating their 15-year anniversary.
You said about the largest parts in space. You said a football field long of a length. They had to take up parts into space, and the width was about 6-story house.
Yes, it's larger than a 6-bedroom house. And with that, they have conducted more than 1,500 scientific investigations along the ISS, or the International Space Station.
A lot of countries involved, and even agencies involved with the International Space Station. And also, what is the nickname of it? The Russian term, what is it called?
It was called Zarya. That's a little bit of a tongue twister right there. It actually means sunrise in Russian.
That's very interesting. Of course, that'd be the exact wording for it, see the sun all the time. However, though, we'll go ahead next local with Nicole. How are things looking around Tallahassee, Nicole?
Hey, Jason and Raquel. Well, around Tallahassee, we had a lot of cloud cover today, so we didn't have much in store for rain all day. Like the rest of Florida, as you can see, there was quite a sea breeze effect pushing up on the rest of the coast, but for us, we remained pretty dry with just those dreary clouds pushing on through. Later on, we will see that currently across the area, well, our highs for today were 72, so right on average. Our lows stayed up pretty high at 56 because we had all that cloud cover, so we really didn't have much for that big drop in temperature that we're used to. We didn't have that much of a swing because of all the clouds. Right now, it is overcast at 64 degrees with that dew point sitting at a nice and dry 53. So it's feeling rather pleasant out, and we don't really have all that moisture in the air. Current temperatures, there was a little bit more sun down in Wilma, as they are at 68 degrees, 66 in Carabel. You can really see where that cloud cover is, as those temperatures are a little bit cooler. 59 in Monticello and 59 in Thomasville at this hour. Taking another peek at our satellite and radar, you can really see those clouds build on through the day, as southern Georgia saw a lot of clouds, and so did the rest of the Panhandle. but we will be continuing to see those clouds later on throughout the rest of the week. I'm sorry, but they are not going away. Our futurecast temperatures show that we really are not going to be dipping down that much. Again, that cloud cover is the story, which is keeping things nice and warm, like we have a nice little jacket on tonight. So tomorrow we will be reaching the low 70s across the whole board, so it will be a beautiful day, but the sun will only be taking a little peek out here and there. Our futurecast is showing that there's that stagnant front just hanging around on Florida, bringing on a lot of rain, but our next front isn't coming on until Saturday night, so we will see a chance for some drizzle on Friday, so make sure you pack the umbrella, but we won't be seeing the next burst of cold until Sunday after this front passes on by. Looking onto tomorrow, those temperatures are going to be reaching, well, tonight, I'm getting ahead of myself, tonight we'll be dipping down to 57. We'll have those mostly cloudy skies, but it'll be nice and pleasant, so if you are going out this evening, you will definitely enjoy it. Tomorrow we will be reaching 71 degrees. We'll have a few breaks of sun, but it will be a mostly cloudy day for us. So if you are heading out, you really won't get to see Mr. Sunshine all that much. Our 7-day forecast, so we will be seeing a little bit of sunshine on Friday. 77 will be the high, and we won't really see another front until Monday night. Take a look at those temperatures. 35 degrees Monday night, so we will be dipping way down as another Arctic front will be coming on, bringing on those cooler conditions. Let's take it over to Daphne as she takes us around the southeast.
Well, thanks, Nicole, and I am looking forward to the cooler weather at 30s. It's not really Florida weather, but I will take that being a South Florida girl. Okay, so here is the main picture here. We have rain in here in South Florida. Central and South Florida, you have the bulk of the moisture, but as you can see, Tallahassee, you are in the clear. You're in the clear in terms of the rainfall, but moisture, you are still here, my friend. We are about 11 degrees warmer in terms of dew point since the past 24 hours, and that's because we have the easterly flow off of the Atlantic really fueling the moisture. Look at that, 10 miles per hour. So we have the wind, and then we have the moisture, and you can see the upper levels really supporting the moisture here. You can see these whites and grays. That's where the moisture is in the upper levels of the atmosphere. So when you have those upper levels with the moisture, it's really fueling the moisture for the lower levels as well. And here's our futurecast here. We have high pressure building in, but that's going to build in and give us drier weather come tomorrow and the next couple of days. And then we have the rain in the forecast, but not just yet. I'll get to that in just a minute here. But by the number right now, if you're sitting down to dinner, we're talking 60s, mid-60s here in Tallahassee. And we get about 10 degrees warmer here in Orlando, 74 degrees for you. Almost at the 80-degree mark there for you in South Florida, in Miami. So a lot warmer in southern Florida here. But tonight's forecast, if you plan on calling it outdoors, no rain in the forecast for you, so leave the umbrella at home. We are talking upper 50s here in Tallahassee, 59 degrees, 46 here in Montgomery, 59 for you in New Orleans. So seasonable for this time of year, and actually a degree or two warmer than normal for this time of year. Now tomorrow's forecast, if you plan on calling it outdoors, 71 degrees in Tallahassee, 68 for you in Montgomery, and 77 for you in New Orleans. And then central and southern Florida, we're talking low 80s. So again, there is a jump 10 degrees by the number there for you. But for us, we're about a degree or two above normal for this time of year as well. But for now, we're going to send it on over to Raquel and Jason at the desk for some more weather.
Thanks, Daphne. I'm looking forward to those temperatures at least reaching above 70 a little bit.
Of course, and things got a little shaky though into southeastern portions of Ohio. A 3.5 magnitude earthquake occurred around 1 p.m. this afternoon.
Talk about shaky, right?
I did. I would not. I mean, I'd be taken aback to right in the middle of my actually in class bureau this afternoon.
Well, the 3.5 magnitude earthquake struck 2 miles southeast of the town of Nelsonville in Athens County in Ohio.
The fortunate thing is no significant damage was reported. 3.5 magnitude, it's not exactly enough on the scale to cause significant damage. According to geologists, they say this is only a light earthquake, with a quick jolt and then nothing more. So that's a thankful thing.
How often do earthquakes occur in the Central Valley?
Central Valley?
Or Ohio Valley, rather.
Well, not too often, you could say. It's more of the small minimal earthquakes, just like the 3.5 magnitude. Maybe, I'd say, once in a while, of course, you can get the larger earthquakes going. But thankfully, in that region, they don't have very large earthquakes at this time. So that's a good thing about it.
Well, at least the good thing is that we're here in Florida and we're not used to seeing earthquakes. And now we're going to send it over to Chris with the National. How are things looking out there, Chris?
Thanks, guys, and thanks for the information tidbit. And we're going to broaden our perspective here across the country and give you some more information. Look at this. This is a 24-hour temperature change across the country, and you can see we've been warming up ahead of the front that's going to be coming through this weekend. But look out west. This is with the front that's just making its entrance into the United States. And look at Billings, 46 degrees colder. In fact, in 2 hours, they dropped from 52 degrees down to 13 degrees. This is the kind of strength and cold air that this cold front is going to be bringing down south across the country. It's going to be a big cold front, folks. We're talking ice and snow across even parts of Texas. That's pretty far south, and you can just see it just making its entrance here across the northern Rockies. So 12 for you folks in Billings right now with snow, 44 in Seattle. Warm as we head down toward the desert southwest, 74, and beautiful in Phoenix like always. Mild and humid and moist in Miami at 79 degrees. Cold though as we head our way up the eastern seaboard, 38 in Boston, and clear skies in 40s in DC. Now here's the radar. This is the dynamics that we got set up across the country. Here's that system that's going to be swinging through the country during the end of the week, and we'll be moving it through our neck of the woods come Saturday. So the moisture is going to be on the increase for your Thursday, Friday, and into the weekend. But clouds abound across the country. But cold is going to be the major theme across the eastern seaboard and basically 2/3 of the country. Now, we're going to take a radar tour across the country, starting off along the eastern mid-Atlantic states. And you can see not much on the radar, a little bit of a sea breeze shower from the southern parts of coastal North Carolina and down across Myrtle Beach and all along the Florida eastern seaboard. Moving on out west, you can see that big system, another round of storms for Illinois, but nothing severe like they saw this past weekend, which is awesome. Great news there. They're going to be able to clean up and get everything taken care of. And then out west, you can see there's a lot of snow across the Wasatch and the Rockies. And then there's that cold front that will be making its way towards our neck of the woods, which we'll be looking at right here. Right now, we sit pretty clear. We do have a lot of clouds building in from the region, especially from our east. We do have a northeasterly wind, which is just ushering in that moisture and clouds off the Atlantic coast. And a lot of moisture down south from Gainesville with the sea breeze from the Gulf and the Atlantic, and you can see that there. Lots of rain, Gainesville southward. Now tonight, we will be seeing mild temperatures, very seasonable though, 50s across the Gulf Coast. But look at that, 4 degrees in Billings, quite cold, 31 in Minneapolis, and you'll see those cooler temperatures as well. Tomorrow's highs quite chilly with snow across the northern part of the country and warm down in San Antonio, but that will change. But for now, we're going to take it to Erin for a closer look at the Tallahassee region. Give us some more info.
Thank you, Chris. Well, I'm sure everybody noticed that today was much warmer than what we saw yesterday. Still a little bit cool, but we saw that increase in cloud cover all because of an upper level disturbance, moving its way into central and north Florida. But most of the rain stayed well to the south of us, so we did get pretty lucky here. Some showers moved through the Tampa and Orlando area earlier, but the story for us here today is the cloud cover that's going to be staying in the forecast for tonight and into tomorrow as well. Right now we're seeing overcast skies with the temperature at 64 degrees, so still a little bit cool out there, but those dew points, 53, that's higher than it was yesterday, so that moisture is on the increase, which means that it's going to start to feel just a little bit more muggy each and every day. But overall, not bad as far as temperatures are concerned. Not too warm and not too chilly. 67 in St. Mark's, upper 60s along the coastline. Just a little bit cooler as you do head to the north. 59 degrees in Monticello and 57 in Thomasville. Since we still have winds out of the northeast, it's still bringing a little bit of that cooler air in it to our region, just not quite as intense as it was yesterday. So we have about 10-mile-per-hour winds from the northeast in Tallahassee and in Thomasville, about 5 in Monticello. But things are going to start to change and our winds will become more easterly as the week does go on. We still have a stationary front draped across southern Florida. That's what brought us the rain a few days ago. It's kind of stalled out in southern Florida, so the rain showers are going to stay to the east and to the south of us. But we're really going to see that cloud cover, and that's going to keep us warm during the day and very warm with above average low temperatures at night. Next big weather maker starts to inch its way towards us. We do have another cold front moving in for the weekend, so we could see some scattered showers, but still with this cold front, it looks like the bulk of the rain and the stronger storms, again, are going to stay to the north of us. We could squeeze out some sprinkles, but by Saturday night, you'll start to notice that cooler air coming in from the northwest, but it's not really until Sunday night and into Monday morning that you're really going to feel that Arctic chill once those low temperatures drop back down into the 30s. So for tonight, warmer than last night, 57 degrees, still cooler. That's because we have those clouds moving in. It doesn't allow quite as much heat to escape from the earth. So that's why it's just a little bit warmer. Those winds out of the northeast at 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow, 71 degrees, plenty of cloud cover out there, just a few breaks of sunshine. That's why those temperatures aren't going to be up into the upper 70s, but those upper 70s are back in the forecast. Check out your 7-day, Friday and Saturday, where it's 77 degrees for your high, but the 60s are back on Sunday once that front rolls through. We're going to send it back to the desk now with Daniel and Jay.
Thanks, Aaron, for that lovely local.
Yeah, and all the snow falling in the west, we're seeing ski resorts starting to open. And what this means is that we're going to have a lot of fresh powder down on the ground.
Yeah, if you live in Brackenridge, Copper Mountain, Keystone, and West Park, those ski resorts are going to be open and fresh powder falling, so that'll be a great getaway for snow.
Yeah, unfortunately for Utah, though, they just got all that fresh snow. However, they are getting rained on right now, so we will be keeping an eye on that. But if you do plan on going out, it's going to be slushy, and during the day it might be iced over. So if you're going in the parks or you're going down higher like Black Diamonds, Double Black Diamonds, be careful because it will be icy out there.
Yes, indeed. But if you live in Colorado, you might want to get that snowboard and those skis out. It's going to be a lot of fun. I personally want to go snowboarding and skiing, but how do you ski, Daniel?
Well, what you do is that you got to go pizza and french fries. But for now, we're going to send it out to Bianca at the wall.
Thanks, Daniel and Jay. Now let's take a look at what's going on around Florida. Right now we have three major weather makers. We have a stationary front that's lingering around Miami area. We have this easterly flow, and we also have this upper level disturbance. Now let's take a look at what's going around Florida. Right now, let's take a look at Panama City. Panama City is seeing beautiful conditions. Other than the cold fact about the weather, it was a beautiful day to be outside checking out the beautiful temperatures and stuff. We saw a 68 degrees. And now let's take a look at where all the weather is going on. If we take a look around Siesta Key, we can see around Siesta Key that the area is a little cloudier. There was some cloud cover due to that upper level disturbance and that easterly flow bringing in a lot of moisture. And right now it's getting kind of dark, but you can see some of the clouds lingering up there. So also not a beautiful day for the beach. But now let's take a look at current conditions. A huge difference between temperatures in the south and in the north. We see 64 is our temperature right now, and areas down south like Key West seeing 79 degrees, definitely not like fall-like conditions. And our current winds, right now we have this dominating high pressure, so really bringing in winds from the east. And due to that wind from the east, we're seeing a lot more moisture, warmer temperatures, and definitely drifting away from that colder fall-like feel. And for our dew points, very dry, not too dry here, but very, very moist in South Florida. We're seeing 70 Key West, 70 in West Palm Beach. That's crazy. I'm so happy it's not that moist here in Tallahassee. But for our water vapor, that upper level disturbance really bringing in a lot of moisture from the west, from the Gulf of Mexico, and right now not having too much of an effect in our Tallahassee area. As you can see from our radar, most of the rain is staying down by Fort Myers, Tampa, Orlando, Miami, and the conditions are going to stay like that through the rest of the week. So definitely don't put away your umbrella just yet. Now let's look at the future cast. So you can see the rain lingering, especially through tomorrow. You're going to see most of the rain in southern and west Florida. As we move into Friday night, though, we have the rain staying in the east side by West Palm Beach, and then until Friday night, the rain becomes more localized down in Miami. So if you're living in South Florida, definitely pack your umbrella. And for on the water, choppy conditions, not a really good beach day, along with that lack of sunshine and a lot of rain, definitely not good to take the boat out today. But for tonight, we'll see 57 in Tallahassee, and as we go further south into Miami, we see the 70s. So definitely don't need a sweater down in the south. But for tomorrow, in the highs, in the high 80s in South Florida and the low 70s. And now let's take it back to the desk with Raquel, with Raquel, and she'll be explaining to you some winter weather.
Well, I'm just traveling from the desk, gonna visit our neighbors in the north. Since we're heading out of hurricane season, we're now going to be entering winter weather, at least for the northern parts of the country. So what's going on in Billings? That's the most action that we're seeing for the country. They're just accumulating that snow cover. They're at 12 degrees right now, and those temperatures are going to drop for those northern Midwestern states. So that is associated with the cold front. Just check that out. 46 degrees has been the temperature change, and that is again associated with the cold front. Now the cold front is extending from the Great Lakes down into Utah, and that's going to be responsible for us to see our cooler temperatures this weekend. And for that, associated with that cold front is all that snow that we're seeing in Billings, stretching from Billings, Montana into North and Southern Dakota, or South Dakota rather. And that just is going to continue to bring snow for those areas. A closer look though, we do see that accumulation of snow just hitting Minot, North Dakota, and Bismarck, North Dakota. And as we travel a little bit to the west though, we do see that snow just extending all the way from Idaho Falls to Helena and Billings, Montana. And along with that snow, we do have some advisories right now. Just check that out. A lot of purple and a lot of pinks. Now the purples indicate winter weather advisories, and now that means that there is accumulation of snow. However, it's not that dangerous. Now the pinks indicate winter weather warnings, and that is a little bit more severe, higher winds, higher snow accumulations, and visibility is not too nice. So if you are making those, or maybe making just travel plans, expect a little bit of delay. There's not much showing up right now, but those delays are going to increase as we head into the evening hours. San Francisco is actually seeing a delay right now, not due to the snow, of course, but maybe just external reasons. For tonight's forecast though, Billings is going to drop down to 4 degrees, Denver is going to drop down to 24, and Salt Lake City to 37. And for tomorrow, they'll get a slight warm up again due to that cold front, just continue to bring that cold Arctic air into the north Midwestern states. So Billings is going to rise up to 22 degrees, Denver to 25, and Salt Lake City at 45 degrees. For us though, we'll be staying quite comfortable at 71 degrees. Those temperatures are going to drop as we head into the weekend though. Temperatures are going to drop by 10 degrees, so we'll see them just drop to 61 as we head into the weekend. So as far as the snow goes, we won't see snow at least this month. However, you never know in the future. For tonight though, again, the Midwestern states are going to see that heavy snow. And now we're going to send it back to the desk with Daniel and Jay.
Thanks a lot, Raquel. Well, you know, Jay, it's starting to get cold outside, so what are we going to do about saving money with our heaters this winter?
Well, electric and energy companies are taking their matters to their own hand, creating wireless thermostats for consumers to use.
Okay, now how will these work out? I mean, are these cheap? Or?
They could range from anywhere from $100 to $500, but it will save you a lot in the wrong one because on average, the people that have the wireless thermostats can save $180 each year on their utility bill. That's a lot for most consumers. I know that's a lot for me as well.
Okay, so even though we live in this part of the South and it doesn't really get that cold during winter, would it still be beneficial for us to buy those this winter?
Yes, because 90% of people at home actually have a higher utility bill because of thermostats being wired in. And if you have the wireless one, it saves you a lot of money and a lot of headache in the future.
That sounds great. But for now, we're going to go ahead and set it out to Jack with the local.
Hey, thanks, Daniel. Now, we started off with an early morning chill. We had some winds blowing out there. Started off around 47 degrees. Currently, though, at the airport, we're sitting at 64. Some overcast skies lingering around, being really sticky out there. That dew point is at 53 degrees, so feeling very humid and sticky out there. Winds mainly out of the northeast at 10 miles per hour, and that easterly flow of the winds really helping that moisture start coming to the area. Currently all across the Big Bend, we're mainly seeing the lower 60s, upper 50s, 57 degrees currently in Thomasville, 64 in Tallahassee, 61 degrees as well in Quincy. And I don't think these temperatures will drop down too much tonight because we'll have a lot of cloud coverage helping us stay warm tonight. Satellite and radar, you saw a lot of storms starting to build up into the Tampa Bay region as well as into Jacksonville. But for Tallahassee, the big story was the cloud coverage that kind of rolled in mid-afternoon and will linger around for the rest of the night. We'll have some spotty rain showers, mainly in the Nature Coast and maybe parts of our eastern viewing area. Could see a sprinkle, but I don't think we'll see anything too severe. What we can expect for the next few days, we have that rain coverage mainly across the peninsula of Florida, but that stationary front will soon get out of the way, and our next frontal system will start developing across Arkansas, which is where our low pressure system will start digging in, and the cold front will start coming into our area, and we'll have some cold air. Mainly our coldest air will be onto Sunday night into Monday morning, where we can see lows into the 40s. We'll be pretty chilly making our way into Tuesday, and we'll see those temperatures start amping up, but we'll have another Arctic cold front coming into the region. But for tonight, what can we expect? We're calling for a low of only 57 degrees, a little bit above normal. That's because we have that cloud coverage out there, and it will really blanket us from our heating that we got today going up into the atmosphere. So 57 degrees is what we're calling for. Mostly cloudy skies will be pleasant throughout the night. Those winds will be out in the northeast at 10 miles per hour. This is really helping bring in that moisture, which will cause us to have some more cloud coverage as we progress into tomorrow. Calling for a high of 71 degrees, so we won't really have a big temperature difference as we progress into Thursday's weather. 71 is what we'll call for. A few breaks of sun out there, though, as we make our way into the afternoon. Will be mostly cloudy with those winds out in the northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Great day to get out there, but yes, we have another cold front kind of approaching the area into Saturday. We could see some rain chances, but I think that will be out of the way by the time the game starts at 3:30. But that cold front will bring some colder air as you check out the 7-day forecast. 77 degrees on Friday, 77 as well on Saturday. But you see that dip off onto Sunday. 62 degrees is where our high will be with that early morning low of 49 degrees. And then Monday, check out that low. 35 degrees is what we're calling for. And then we're going to start amping up our rain chances on Tuesday as we have another approaching cold front that will be bringing quite the big punch of cold air. And we can see our lows dropping down as we progress into Wednesday and Thursday. But that's a few weeks from here. But we're going to send it back to the desk with Jay and Daniel as they talk about some sports.
All right, thanks a lot, Jack. Well, we got sports going on right now. Right now, I know women's basketball is happening right now on campus against UF.
Yes, they're playing in Gainesville, in fact. And their in-state rival, we wish them the best of luck, but we want our Seminoles to come out on top.
That's right. And also, we have a basketball tournament for the guys coming up. Where is that happening?
They're playing in Puerto Rico, so we wish them the best of luck as well as they travel to Puerto Rico and play their hearts out.
Yeah, hopefully they can come away with a lot of wins at that tournament. And how's about women's soccer? Is there some action going on there for
Oh, yes. Our second in the nation, women's soccer, play against Ole Miss at 7 p.m. I know some of the broadcasters out there will be going out and watching the women's take on Ole Miss.
I know they're ranked second in the nation, but big story is Florida State could still stay undefeated this weekend against Idaho, can't they?
Yes, they can. And we look at our rain chances for Saturday, 30% chance of rain, so you might want to bring those ponchos just in case, because remember, umbrellas are not allowed in the stadium. But when you take a look later on in the week, rain chances spike up to an incredibly 70% chance of rain, and those temperatures start dipping down once again.
That's unfortunate. I mean, take a look at that Monday low, 35. That's crazy, but...
Yes, you can like us on Twitter. You can follow us on Facebook. And you can watch us anytime. Our lovely faces on ywestream.com/FSU Weather. I'm student meteorologist Jay Kimball.
And I'm student meteorologist Daniel McFarland. Have a wonderful night, Tallahassee.
And we wish you the best of luck as well.